Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly. I am your host, your guide. I am Caron, taking the boat down the River Styx, with the River Styx is called the Northland Artist Conversation. Thank you very much for joining us, really do appreciate it. Kind of middle of the year now. It's really hard to believe it's just all gone so fast. It's been absolutely crazy. We had an amazing time with our 2-year anniversary, which we did the 2nd of May at Roost on Bank Street. Thank you very much, guys, for hosting. It was amazing. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Lauren, you are a wonderful host. I cannot thank you enough for allowing us to put the event on at your space. And also a big shout out to Mr. Tim Bell at Belltech for providing us with the sound as well. It was great. So cool to have so many musicians that have been on the podcast, and poets as well, kind of turn up and just get up and do their thing. Yeah, it was really cool. Great night, man. Just, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I'm going to flick to my camera. So tonight's podcast was a little bit different. We spoke with a guest who is both behind the scenes and in front of the scenes in terms of being a creator. We've never had anyone like that before, so it was a really good opportunity to sit down and talk with them about, kind of how they got into things. We didn't really focus too much on the backstory and stuff like that, because I really wanted to dive on in more into the, how he discovered photography and writing and being a support person for the guest that we had on last, which was Micky Nogher. So this is her partner, Micky Nogher. Nogher, I think it is. Sorry, I've got to make sure I pronounce that correctly. I'm very sorry if I've said that incorrectly there, Micky. But yeah, such a cool guy. Huge amount of stories and life experience. But he's got some really cool things on the go, and it was kind of nice to get that perspective, from how he sort of literally stumbled into photography because he didn't have much of a choice, through to actually, being really successful, and being and part of a national competition. So very cool, bro. Anyway, I'm going to shut up, and let's sit down and have a conversation with Micky Nogher. Micky, welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation.
Thanks for having us,
This
Mark.
is going to be take 2. We'll be perfectly honest, but I reckon that we can do this a bit of a fucking different way this time.
Okay.
Let's just take the framework off that we normally have, and let's just have 2 dudes sitting around talking shit, because you are a very fascinating person, and you're going to sit there and go, I don't think so. I'm telling you, you are. So we were talking before about... inside, it's one of the things I suffer from is I suffer from imposter syndrome, right? Yep. I'm always expecting someone to go, you're actually full of shit. You're not good at what you do. And then my ego gets crushed and I'm like, you know what? They're right. And that's the hard part. But you are a photographer, musician, author, writer, poet. Have I left anything off? Because I'm going to run out of fingers.
That's it.
You say jack of all trades, master of none, right? Yeah. But that makes you multidisciplined. Yeah.
That's it.
But now you've kind of found your way by accident into kind of the majority of these things, right? How did you get into the photography side of things?
Photography was 100% accidental photographer.
How?
So
what, do you just wake up in the morning and stumble over a camera and go, yes, I'm a photographer now?
Selfie time?
Yeah. I'm really good at taking selfies.
I'm shit at it. Yeah, so just got into doing it by going along and just doing video and photography for lots of Maggie's gigs and getting the standard video of like performances of the band and Maggie solo shows and stuff, and then just some good pictures for like social media and promotion and all of that stuff. But then when I was at the shows, eventually ended up getting bored and just finding obscure angles or just things that caught my eye, and started to work. Whenever I go into a show, would try and now break it down into, okay, what are the shots that we need to get, and then what are the things that I can have fun trying to find, and what would be an angle. You know,
so it's interesting because like up until I was on the phone with Maggie, I didn't know you were a photographer, and now I'd kind of stumbled across the wonderful and amazing photo you'd done at the John Toogood concert, but I was so focused on John, I didn't actually see you taking any photos. So when all of a sudden I look on John's Facebook page, because we're now besties, I see this photo. It's like, cheers to Micky for taking the photo. I was like, what the?
Yeah,
how the hell has this happened?
Yeah, man, that was pretty awesome. John's such a friggin' lovely guy, but also like the ultimate professional. And like, so just asked him beforehand, was it okay to take photos when we were doing sound check and stuff? And then, I just went and got, just went and found a nice moment, a nice angle, and like, so that the photo with John used, that was black and white. So I tend to shoot in black and white just because I'm just using my web phone, you know. And
you have an iPhone?
Nah, just
like a Samsung,
a really battered basic. I started out with a really battered basic Samsung, and I've sort of upgraded to a slightly more mid-range Samsung.
Cool, man.
And yeah, sometimes we use Xiaomi, but that's more for video and stuff.
Yeah.
And just purely because we have so much gear when we're like doing gigs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so often I'll be like running sound.
Yeah.
And then running and taking some photographs and stuff as well, or doing roadie, or doing all these other things. So so that's the sort of like the role that I get into, doing the photography, and then with the lighting, a lot of gig lighting. It can be.
You do lighting?
No, a lot of gig lighting for photography. No,
it's like, holy shit, you do lighting as well.
No, just with it can be pretty tricky to get some shots that are a bit more like original or something, just because the lighting's awesome, you know, but it's sometimes it could be hard to capture the performers when they're moving and stuff like that. But and the wonderful thing with digital camera, you know, you can just like, you know, and eventually you find something and it works, and you're not like running through everything.
Back in the day where it was like, I've got 24 or 36 photos, I better get this shot right. Oh, I fucked it up. I'm gonna get another one. Oh, there's I'm down to 12. I can't take any more
until the cameras to get those developed.
Take it down to the 1 hour photo center, pay $20 and hope for the best. And then you go, oh, I forgot I took that shot on that roll.
Yeah, so most definitely wouldn't be doing this like, if it wasn't for the technology.
You describe yourself as Maggie's support human. Support person. So I'm very interested to know that, because obviously Maggie, being the entertainer, she's kind of the face of the operation, I guess you'd say, right? Whereas you're the background, yes?
Yeah, I suppose that's where I'm looking at. Yeah.
So what is it like for you as a support human?
It's all good.
What are the things that do you look after her social media and stuff like that?
No, not at all. I'm crap at social media. That's why I don't have a very big public portfolio, but I do have like tons of stuff now. I just tend to like take a lot of the content in terms of like video and photography,
and then go, here you go.
Yeah.
Farm it out.
And
you sort of go, oh, I hope there's at least a couple in here that don't suck.
Yeah, and with we're just really lucky that we met through music, and we're just really lucky that we get to go and spend our time just playing music and being around music and stuff. You know, it's like there aren't all that many. There are gigs like when me and Maggie will play together, but most of the gigs Maggie's doing one of like, you know, all of the many projects that she does. But it's
all
always,
9 of them.
I know, and it's just so but that's cool, because I'm just learning more and more about music and performing and stuff.
So it's interesting that you brought up that you guys met over music, because the very
No.
first
You
podcast.
can't be doing that. Go rewind. Go and watch that one. Go on.
Because that is so. You have to admit. Look, in terms of the stories that we've had on the podcast, that has got to be one of the funniest stories that we've had.
That's.
But that you, it's like you coming in. I could just see you like on this white horse with this beautiful shining armor,
Nope.
going, "I am here to save you from Whangarei methods."
Yeah, Whangarei methods. Yeah. No.
But it's so it is honestly, it is like, it has to be one of the coolest ways that people have met. Because you hear high school sweethearts, and you hear people who've met up later on in life and stuff like that. But I've never, and I mean never, heard a story as original.
Wait until you read this film script that I've got halfway developed.
Really?
You'll be enjoying that. Yeah.
Funnily enough, I know I know people
You
who can
have a
shoot
camera?
it. I know a guy
Fantastic.
with a camera.
Sweet.
So, you listened to Maggie's podcast?
The first one.
The first one, yeah. Did what she say, was that an accurate reflection of what happened?
Oh man, that's like, what was that, over a year ago?
It's
or
over a
something?
year ago, yeah.
I
You guess so?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
probably for the purposes of this podcast.
So for anyone that's watching or listening, we recommend going back and re-listening to Maggie's first podcast, so you get the story. It's about halfway through, a third of the way through. Yeah, be about right. But I guess for me, I find it absolutely fascinating that you met the way you did, and then you guys have been almost inseparable. You are really a unit. Because when I saw you guys again at John Toogood, I didn't realise that Maggie was playing. And then you were there as well. And then you were setting up the keyboard and getting the guitar ready and doing all the backstage stuff. And it was like, why isn't, I'll say, the sound guy here? We love you.
We love you, sound guy.
We love sound guy. But you were very much like the manager and the roadie, and you were making sure that the artist was in a good spot to be able to deliver the quality gig that that she can do.
I am the roadie, but Maggie is 100% in control and the brains of everything that she does with her career. I'm just there to support her. So I will move the pianos, I'll move the keyboards, and like I said, I'll run sound and all of those different things. And when we're doing the multimedia shows, I'll help liaise with the artist. I'll do the front of house, those types of things. And now and again, I get to jump up on stage if it's the right type of gig and stuff like that, and we'll get the jam.
And it's so cool because we primarily have a lot of people that are, I guess you would say, in front of the camera. We haven't had that many people behind the camera. But I can promise you, we've never had someone that does both. So this is actually really unique for us because, if you hop up on stage, you're presenting yourself as an artist. You may not think you are, but you are. When you're taking photos, you're conveying your expression through the pictures and images that you take. When you're writing, that's you pouring yourself out. But then you flip that coin and you're like, we need to be here at this time. We need to make sure this gear's packed. We've got to do all the support work. I need to make sure all of these people are contacted. It's very... how do you juggle
it's cool.
both sides, man?
No, it's cool. It's all good. It's lots of fun. And the nice thing is that most of the time, I will be doing the driving and getting from A to B and everything else, but Maggie's done all of the hard work in terms of the contacts and setting up the gigs and doing all of the promo and all, and all of that stuff. It's
so
cool. We've got to do a lot of traveling and stuff with it. And
how much traveling do you guys actually do? Because New Zealand's obviously quite a small country, and the podcast with Maggie, we sort of talked about making a living as a full-time musician. Realistically, what are the you can't be in Whangarei and going, well, I'm going to make a really successful living here.
With the travel, it's a bit different now, just with the Brandurmans being closed and stuff.
Yeah.
But so obviously up and down the Auckland maybe once a month, but there would be like a couple of gigs lined up for over
So you sort of
period, yeah,
like
you know,
stack
yeah,
gigs?
stack it so that
Yeah.
because otherwise the petrol money's not worth it.
Yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
And then but once again, like that's all stuff that Maggie takes care of and organizes, and then
So she goes,
and then for doing stuff further afield, like we've done the North Island twice, the top of the South twice.
oh wow.
We got over to Australia last year. For,
Yeah, I know. I remember
for,
that. Yeah, I remember that tour. Yeah.
And then that big one over to the States over the summer and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, we totally like that. That's a lot. That's a lot of miles in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, obviously you enjoy the travel, and you travel with a wonderful person. That makes life a lot easier.
Yep.
So, and this is kind of this. I'm going to ask a really interesting question here, and it's going to be interesting because for those of you that are watching and listening, Maggie's in the studio with us. Are there times where you just want to say fuck off? Are there moments where you're like, seriously, you're annoying the shit out of me?
No, not really. No.
Really?
No, I mean it might be to other people, but no, not with Maggie. I mean, it's like,
because I mean, I did tours with my band, and there were times where, like, I remember my drummer and bassist actually we were playing a show up here. We were playing a show at the Red Eye, and my drummer and my bass player got into it because my drummer had far too much to drink and decided that he was, gonna be a ginormous douche, and they actually got into it. My bass player was just stone cold sober. You could put my drummer on his ass, but touring can be challenging.
Man, we don't really live that hardcore rock and roll lifestyle of Mark Kelly and co. But
I didn't drink on tour. Oh, maybe once, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's generally it's you just gotta be.
And do you
present,
think
and understand it? Well, okay, this has happened. We'll find a problem. We'll find a solution to the problem.
Nice.
And, we've had some pretty on that tour when we were coming back. We ended up getting stuck in Philadelphia airport.
Oh wow!
Wow. It was the start of some big storms coming through. And ended up having to spend the night there. Missed the gig in San Francisco, the quickest. And this was also when all of the Boeing fleet was down because the door falling off the plane.
Yep.
And
yes, I remember
small
that.
things like that. And so the quickest way we could get to San Francisco was to fly to Texas and spend a night in Dallas and then get over to San Francisco for that. And so whenever you're dealing with that and all of your luggage has been sent on ahead and stuff. Yeah, so whenever you stuff like that happens,
tension arises.
No, but that's the thing. It's just like, okay, we'll just get, you'll
just deal with it.
Just deal with it and just get through it, and yeah.
So, would you say you're more the level-headed one?
Depends on the situation, and that's what makes a good team.
It does.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm single, so.
Well, it's like. Yeah.
So if I fuck myself off, I'm just angry with myself. I kick my own ass.
It's like, yeah.
So with the photography side of things, and you've recently had a bit of an exhibition, is that right?
No.
No.
No. What sort of made me go, okay, better start maybe taking this a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Was. Last year we were down for the Nelson Fringe, and so that was part of the Elodie tour, which is like the second album. So we were doing like the development tour for that, and we got to work with this amazing textile artist down there called Stefania Naldi. And,
oh wow!
So Stefania, she was basic. So the premise for Maggie's show. So basically, she will play music, sing the songs, but the artist will be creating their art, but with an audience interaction in response to the content of the lyrics. So basically what Steph was doing was she was in a nude suit and she was creating a dress in real time.
Oh wow.
on stage. So you're talking like about 45 minute set.
Yeah.
And so she had this like she'd done a lot of prep for it, and she was like super onto it, and she had like all of these like strips of material, and she like was writing down thoughts and lines from the lyrics and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then she was like wrapping them around herself, and like and then the audience were like bringing stuff up and putting it in the jar, like bits of paper into jars.
Yeah.
She was using the audience prompts into what was going into the dress and those things, and then she actually created this amazing necklace from all she created like this amazing necklace from all of the bits of paper from the audience. On the neck, and then like pulled together this like headdress and all in the space of time. But it was like a very punk aesthetic as well, just because it was like all knotted and then like with safety pins tied together, and so whenever we were down, and Maggie was playing 3 shows, at that Nelson Fringe, and there was supposed to be an official photographer coming, and so Steph was excited about that because she'd said, "Oh, I'd like to enter this for the Changing Threads, which is the National Contemporary Textile Awards."
Okay. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal, and it's held in Nelson, like, because Nelson's this amazing creative, like.
Oh yeah.
Man. Like that's where World of Wearable Arts and isn't all of that stuff a lot of that stuff.
The jeweler down there, Hans Jensen, made the One Ring for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, So Nelson has this, even though it's smaller than Fugger, it's got this like amazing big arts infrastructure. And so she was excited about the photographer coming, because she was going, I'll be able to use those and maybe use this as an entry for that competition. And the photographer ended up coming to one of the other shows, and so I just went, so I just went, I'm gonna take as many of these. I'll just take.
Someone's got to do it.
I'll just take photos just with my phone.
Yeah,
and I managed to take like some pretty cool ones for Steph.
Yeah,
and then basically after the show and stuff, Steph contacted Maggie to see about working on a proposal to enter it as a multimedia collaboration, and it was accepted as one of 30 finalists. Yeah, so it was like,
wow, man.
And then I was like, okay, my photography's in an art gallery, there's wine and cheese, I guess that makes me an artist. I was like, there's wine and cheese involved here.
Yeah. Wine and cheese makes it all legitimate, right?
But there's like serious, like amazing stuff going on. Like lots of like big, like heavy hitters in that medium, in at a national level. And we were given this section of the gallery, and it was really cool, because we had like a loop of the music playing, and then Maggie's lyrics superimposed over the photography, and then the actual dress and some of the materials from the process and stuff there. So that was I went, okay, yep, that's my photography's art. It's in an art gallery then, but I haven't had a proper exhibition, but I reckon I could put one together. Just off like lots of the performers and gigs that I've been to. Just capturing like some pretty cool stuff.
Like you could almost put like a little photo book together, right? Life on the road.
Yeah.
As a support human.
Yeah. The roadie, yeah.
But I mean, that's really cool, considering you, as you said, you just kind of fell into it almost out of necessity, right? Because Maggie didn't have anything. She's touring enough where she needs someone that can do it. You were like, well, okay, might as well be me.
Yeah.
But that's wicked.
So that's been cool. So like got the Instagram set up, and I'm not 100% with it, just because I need to get better at like improving the selection of the photos and doing it in a more timely manner, or maybe like getting it all set up so that I can schedule it up, because I got quite a backlog of like photos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
it is, when we started the podcast, originally I had a wonderful lady by the name of Kat Tasker, who works for Whangarei District Council. She took care of all of the social media stuff, and then she was like, look, there's other projects I want to concentrate on, so I'm going to have to bow out of this and go do time for that. And then I had to teach myself how to schedule posts, how to pick the right photos, what was the aesthetic that she had set up that I needed to continue and follow, and what was my voice and what was that going to sound like, and not shit the bed and drop the ball. And you do get used to it. Before you guys turned up today, I did a post for Street Made Records, who are up and coming hip hop label, and I was like, yeah, cool. I am not hip hop. Yet. I can appreciate it, but I rap like Snow. Did anyone know Snow? No, Snow. Informer. That's a great track.
I thought you were just going to say Very White.
Very white.
Very white.
Well, we can go that as well. Have a look on YouTube. Okay. The song Snow, and the song's called, the artist is Snow. The song's called Informer. Okay. It's a guy from Canada who raps like he's from Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the chorus goes, Informer.
Yeah.
I lick your bum bum down. What the fuck is bum bum down? But we're gonna throw it right back.
Okay.
You're remembering it now, eh?
Yeah. Wish it wasn't.
It's sort of just post Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
And it was one of those sorts of things where I was like, oh yeah, cool. So you just bang some words together, chuck in some photos, pick the ones that don't suck the most, and then off you go. So yeah, totally, man. I get it. I understand. If you're not, I generally don't like social media as a rule. I'm not one of these people that has like thousands and thousands of friends on my Facebook page or my personal one, because it's mostly just stuff with me and my son. So I've got, I think last count I had 63 friends. Chalking up big numbers.
Yep.
But out of those 63 friends, I know that I could count on all of them should anything happen. So you earlier talked about a script.
Yeah.
Now, fundamentally quite different from, being a roadie and being a photographer.
Yeah. So,
but you're also a writer as well, right?
Yes.
Because you recently stood up and did some poetry.
Yeah. So my degrees in...
You have a degree?
Yeah, in English and philosophy, and so that was what.
Wow.
So did that for my BA. Yeah. And so I was really into writing and stuff, and just managed to do wee bits and pieces as I went along. So I've got a couple of like unfinished scripts for different plays and and other things, and it used to haven't done as much now, but like years ago, like I used to like write poetry and stuff, just because that was the world I was in.
Yeah.
And so that was, and then just there a couple of weeks ago, and then the year before, we were down with the New Zealand Poetry Society, down in Auckland.
Auckland,
and for a show, and so they have like a open mic section. So they actually had the poet laureate, or the previous poet laureate, Dave Egerton, performing and stuff. But they have like this open mic section, and so like Sam, who runs it, he's lovely, and like I'd been down the very first time, and do you know what? I've got something scribbled down here on my phone, but just random ideas and notes and stuff.
Yeah,
and I just went, and I was standing there for the first time I was down, and then I just finished it, standing in the bar where it was being held.
Yeah,
and then but I put my name down, so I just went, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I got up and I did it, and I got a big freaking round of applause. I was like, so that was cool. And then this time, when I knew we were going down, went and I dug out some old writing and stuff, and went over my, actually that one, they're pretty good. And then
nice.
So I got up and I did maybe three poems.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and yeah. So
that is very. Have you ever thought of? Because there is a magazine locally that gets published that has poets in there.
Oh yeah, Pete does a lot. Yeah, all the Pete's. Yeah.
Mr. Newland. Yeah.
Yeah, I have spoken to him before, and I know they do the stuff at 116, but I just haven't managed to get round to heading in there and stuff. Yeah.
So Pete will be. So we're recording this podcast prior to the 2-year anniversary event, but Pete's actually going to be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you know, even if you don't go to 116 and do anything, maybe you could submit something.
Yeah.
Because that'd be cool. I mean, the hard part's actually getting up and doing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But then like that performance part of it, like I'm quite comfortable doing.
Yeah.
As opposed to coming and sitting in a room, fucking surrounded by cameras and bright lights, and being asked to talk about myself. You know.
Well, yeah.
Give me a stage and a microphone.
Yeah.
I can do. I can do that. Like, yeah.
Well, man, now I watched something recently, and there's a really good quote. It's an Oscar Wilde quote, which is, "Give a man a mask and he'll tell you the truth." And I was like, I find that really interesting. Well, yeah. So, I never had an issue performing on stage, but that's always because I was a character. I couldn't go up on stage as Mark. That's just terrifying. I couldn't imagine anything worse. So when I was doing the metal thing, I was either the demon or the jester. Those were the two personalities that I had. And depending on the crowd would depend on what personality came out. If the crowd were really into it, the jester would come out and we'd all have, you know, I'd be a fucking idiot and we'd all have a good time. Like, so you know how you get those breaks in between songs where you have a little bit of banter? I would say the dumbest shit in the world. So I would say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just lead into the next song. But sometimes just saying really dumb shit like that. But then if the crowd weren't into it and I wanted them to be into it, the demon would come out and I'd be the guy that would jump off stage and bring people up. Because you get that dreaded semicircle, which is where there's the stage, there's the semicircle, and everyone just stands there and observes you and no one gets involved. And you're like, no fuckers, get involved, get amongst it. But even like doing theatre and stuff like that, you're not yourself, you're playing a role. So you can kind of hide, you know, get behind method and stuff like that. So I understand that. You know, getting up on stage sometimes can be quite invigorating.
Yeah.
So tell me about this script that you've got around the love of the love story. It's
just basically that it was like, so as you know from like the previous podcast, it was just like ticking all of these like boxes like for all romantic comedies.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
So it was just like, oh yeah, but I can take a couple of angles on that and twist it. Really,
is it,
you know,
like,
try and.
Is it like Notting Hill meets Requiem for a Dream?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the second one, but I know the first one. Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream's a drug film.
Okay. No.
Starring Jared Leto. Probably one of the only good roles he ever did. Okay. So
yeah. You know, so it's like it's always. But one of the problems is like managing the discipline around it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the complete the projects and stuff. Because I mean, like, so the like one big thing that we're like working on at the minute is pulling together like the art booklet for the album.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yes.
And so like that's
kind of the focus right now.
You know, that's quite time sensitive, really. So so and that's also been a learning curve because I've had to go in and understand the importance of cataloging things so that it's not just one continual rule on the camera, you know, and all those admin things like that, and then
file documentation and naming,
and
2022, blah blah blah,
and then also getting the grips with using like editing software, just to be able to like do a better job with cropping images, and just most of the images are like JPEG stuff, but some of them are RAW files as well, and then just being able to like just play with those and get them into the right because like whenever you look at modern photography, there's just so much stuff that goes on with that side of it, but basically like all the stuff that I've taken is just like straight one shot. Well, it is one shot of like 100, but it is still, you know.
There's hold my finger down.
Yeah,
now.
You know, there's like no editing or any apart from like minor cropping or something goes on to anything. So,
How did you find that learning curve?
It was really just trying to find something that was.
Because are you doing just the photos or the layout and the format as well?
On the software.
Yeah.
Just looking at the photos, and we're going to be passing them over to one of the things was because of the time difference and stuff, because we're working with people in France and America and stuff who so we've been trying to work with those time differences. I was going to be doing okay, do we need to be doing our own mock layout so that we can pass that on to those guys, but now that campaign's finished up, we're coming to the stage now where we're going to be moving on to the design team, and I don't know if they're going to go, here's a template, or this is these are the types of things that we want to do. So we're getting into that stage now, but that was something that we were looking into.
Wow.
Looking at, and that was cool as well, because it's like trying to tell the story of, well, they've got maybe 12 shows that were multimedia performances, but then we've done other shows, like the tour, some of the big shows in the States and stuff that were just performances in the Ark, which is a pretty amazing venue in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and and all of the photos from the process as well, the recording process and stuff. Yeah. So then you've got the actual lyrics of the songs.
Yeah, of course.
And then you've got the artists who are there, and what their disciplines are and what they were attempting to achieve, and then how the audience interacted with it, So as much as it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of photography, but there also needs to be being able to craft that narrative, that story, of all of these different strands and weave them all together. So it's been really interesting going through that selection process and going, I need to cover this, but I need to cover this as well. It's pretty amazing to see that.
Well, I imagine it's probably quite eye-opening, because you can take a photo but then see the other side of things as well, where it goes, well, you've got to do layout, well, you've got to do your culling, you've got to work out your color grading as well, any manipulation that needs to be had in terms of putting a LUT on there and adjusting the color, making sure it's got the right tones, and doing all of that sort of stuff. It's not easy.
I'm just doing it to get it up to as best a scratch as I can, and then it'll be going over to the design team to
right here.
We're just doing the selection, the culling, and a bit of basic prep for it, those guys will be the ones who make all the calls when it goes to
printing and stuff.
But that's something that I've been able to do because Maggie's just been working so hard doing all of the other stuff with the promotion of the album and the gigs and everything else. And
and I mean, having you as the backup and support person to be able to sort of take some of that load off is actually very cool. So is there anything interesting coming up for you? Not Maggie.
For me.
But for you. Is there anything so it's interesting. Having had a chat with a lot of artists this year, 2024 is quite an interesting year. It seems to be very transitional for a lot of people. People are going out and trying things like, I don't know, going to yoga classes and hanging upside down on silks. Just trying real random shit that they've never done before. Who the hell
would do that?
I don't know, man, but I've seen some idiots that do some dumb shit. Fuck it, why not? But is there anything for you this year that you would love to go, man, I'd really like to be able to tick that off, and or go, man, it'd be really cool if I did this? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, in terms of art and stuff.
Well, you expressing yourself. Yeah. Whether it be
just completing a few of my own projects. You know, like maybe pulling some of the writing stuff
Yeah.
together, and then I've got other non-arty stuff that I'm doing as well.
Oh, right. Okay. So
yeah.
whether it be creative or not creative, there's a few
yeah.
projects in general you'd like to be able to go, done.
Yeah, you know, and I've been making progress on them over the past
little while.
Yeah, year or two. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, man. Very cool. Hey, look, thank you so much for coming in and sitting down. You know, it's never easy.
No, definitely not.
Sometimes it can be challenging and confronting, but thank you for actually, you know, chucking the microphone back in front of you, letting us record. It didn't end up being that hard, did it? No.
It's all good.
It's just two dudes talking shit.
Talking shit. Oh,
yeah. Talking shit. That's all it needs to be. There you go, everyone. Micky, the wonderful gentleman, the wonderful sport that he is. Mate, thank you so much for you know, giving us a chance, because you know, I can safely say with 100% confidence that it is not easy. Sometimes sitting down in a chair and just talking with someone that you kind of know but don't really know that well. You know, you're a great sport, and you know, I know that there's going to be some really cool things, and we're going to support you as well, because I you know, you showed me some of the photos in between takes, and yeah, it was just super cool to see the talent. I flicked my camera now, man. What did I get out of tonight's play? I often do a bit of a reflection on you know, what I learnt from, you know, tonight's guest. The big thing I think I got out of this one was that it's never too late to start, and sometimes you know, what is it? What's the expression? The mother of invention is necessity, and Micky was in a position where he needed to just take photos for his partner and local artist Maggie Coco, you know, so that they could do stuff on their social media. And you know, he kind of picked up the camera and then worked it all out, and then figured things out from there. And you know, he's got a bloody good eye. So you know, he took photos of the John Toogood show, and John Toogood has actually used one of Micky's photos on his Facebook page. Very, very cool. Huge amount of skill. Love the guy. Yeah, it's probably the big one I got. And it was, you know, every podcast we do is totally different. They're never the same. So it was kind of nice just to be able to have a bit more of a super loose, very sweary, but highly informal sort of chat. Yeah, we dug a little bit deep into some things, but yeah, it was cool overall. So yeah, man, much appreciated, bro. So where can you, our amazing audience, find more of these podcasts? Well, I'm going to quickly break it all down for you. So for the visual side of things, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artist Conversation. It'll be scrolling down the bottom there somewhere. For audio, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and now YouTube Podcasts, I believe is what they're calling it. Google Podcasts is gone. But again, all Northland Artists Conversation. Excuse me. And if you would love to be a guest on the show, man, we would really love to have you. That would be super cool. Just contact us, or if you know someone that would be a great guest, contact us. Just reach out to us through Facebook if you like. You can send us an email. And that email is hello@northlandartistconversation.co.nz. Super simple. We keep it all the same, so that way it's nice and easy for you guys. I'm going to flick back to my wide. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. It's kind of nice being on the schedule that we're on at the moment. There's, you know, 22 and 23, it was definitely go. And, you know, it's been nice to actually sit back, take some time, enjoy things as well, and, you know, just be able to get super comfortable with the artists as well. So on behalf of myself, Mark Kelly, and the team of Northland Artist Conversation, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you guys real soon.